Friendships can give us love and support unless they turn toxic. A young mom steals more than money.
Her thoughts were, how many ways can I rip her off?
Macabre desires become a lethal mission.
It wasn't out of hatred or spite. It was purely for a thrill kill.
And a helping hand is rewarded with torture.
It was an immense amount of cruelty.
These deadly women are all smiles until their friends are foes.
A hallmark characteristic of a psychopath is that they feel smarter than everyone else, and they look down on other people. When a greedy psychopath meets a generous and trusting person, bad things are going to happen.
In Barefoot Bay, Florida's popular retirement community, 35-year-old Jennifer Trent and her son are a little out of place.
Jennifer was a single mom. She had a 7-year-old son, but she was unable to provide him with much of a home.
Doris, look.
That's very good.
But that's a blessing for 69-year-old resident Doris Johnston.
Doris got something out of the relationship,
That's very good.
and that was companionship.
Okay, pack up your stuff, Demolition Man.
Jennifer and her son filled a void in Doris's life.
Thank you, dear.
Over time, Jennifer's occasional visits to help with odd jobs
Okay, say bye.
become something deeper for Doris.
It has been my observation that as people get older, it's like a part of their brain tells them, you can trust everyone.
You be a good boy for your mom. And I'll make you some of those peanut butter cookies tomorrow, okay?
And wanting to recreate a happy time that they've had in their past.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Trouble at home?
I can't go back there.
So when Jennifer gets some disturbing news from home, where she lives with her father,
I don't know what to do.
it's Doris's turn to help.
Stay here. Both of you.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
She made an incredible offer that Jennifer and her son could live rent-free. It was a gift from heaven.
The trio become a happy family.
Merry Christmas.
I think that probably brought out the grandmother in her.
That looks lovely on you.
I think it was one of the situations where it gave her energy and kind of gave her a purpose.
Merry Christmas. Taxi's here. Don't have too much fun while I'm gone.
Doris's real family live out of state. So when it comes time to visit them, Jennifer and her son are left home alone.
Okay, this is it.
Say goodbye.
In her heart, she must have felt she could trust Jennifer to stay at her home
Behave yourself.
See you in a couple of months.
without her being present.
Jennifer becomes the lady of the house,
Hi.
Hey. How are you?
inviting her boyfriend to move in.
She had the run of the house, the run of the finances, and it was simply a situation where she became Doris Johnson.
It turned off again.
But there's something the trusting retiree doesn't know about her new house sitter.
There. Go play in your room.
The reason she couldn't go home to her father.
He noticed the money was missing. He noticed that he'd give her checks to pay bills. They weren't being paid. He noticed that his own money was missing.
Now Jennifer has a new bank account.
She was having a ball. She was doing whatever she wanted with that seemingly unlimited amount of financial freedom.
Santa's been good this year.
That's how psychopaths think. That's my money in your wallet.
There's some presents for you, too.
Jennifer quickly racks up bills for almost $15,000. But unfortunately for her, this doesn't go unnoticed by Doris's bank.
No. That much? Well, thank you for letting me know.
And the gentleman's having a conversation with Doris regarding all these charges, which she's denying, and that's happening in Florida.
Someone's been using my credit card.
I knew you couldn't trust that woman.
It's not Jennifer. She wouldn't do that.
Doris is so attached to Jennifer, she doesn't want to believe it's true.
And I think that she maybe thought that it was just a mistake.
Mom, just cancel the card, okay?
With a heavy heart, Doris wants to sort things out, creating an immediate problem for Jennifer.
Doris was going to be coming home.
It's not for long. Just till she leaves for Chicago.
Okay, see you later.
She tells Richard that Doris is coming home. There's only going to be at the house for 2 to 3 days, and then she's going to go to Chicago.
This will be news to Doris. She thinks she's coming home to stay.
Jennifer was desperate to create the life she wanted. Her thoughts were, how many ways can I rip her off?
Barefoot Bay, Florida, January 10th, 2015. Things are a little tense when Doris arrives home to talk with her house guest.
Wow, you're really good at this.
Okay, I said time for bed 5 minutes ago. Now!
This is where it came to head, where Doris challenged her. She's realizing how much money is being spent, where this money has gone, and realizing that Jennifer's been deceptive.
Night-night, Doris. What's up?
I need to talk with you.
Sure.
It's about my credit card. While I was away, someone was using it.
Are you accusing me of stealing?
Let go of my arm.
After everything that I've done for you!
Let go of my arm!
No!
Jennifer reacted in a very peculiar but not unpredictable way. She assaulted Doris. She knocked her down, banging her head over and over and over again until she lost consciousness.
Jennifer drags Doris to the laundry area outside of her home and just leaves her there.
She covered her up and laid her down on that cold ground. Now, the coldness had an effect that perhaps Jennifer hadn't anticipated.
The cold brings Doris back from the brink. She's still alive. But rather than finish the job, Jennifer decides to let nature take its course, expecting Doris to die within a few hours.
She continued to go in that room. It was business as usual as Doris laid right there on the floor, not dead.
But hours turn into days as Doris's constitution holds out.
Jennifer even went to the laundry area to wash clothes with Doris on the floor, struggling to breathe. That tells me everything I need to know about Jennifer Trent.
Hurry up and die, you old bag.
I go back to this being a sociopath. It's not having a conscience. Someone that has been kind, open arms, open heart, and this is what you've done to this person.
As Doris clings to life, Jennifer buys her a plane ticket to Chicago as an alibi.
Jennifer tried to be clever and created many ruses to make it look like Doris was in Chicago and she was in contact with Doris.
And there's other plans afoot.
No, stop. I've got something I want to ask you.
Sure.
Will you be my husband?
Hell yes.
It's even an engagement ring. So she felt that this was her money to do what she wanted to do with it.
But Jennifer wasn't totally selfish. She bought her son an Xbox and her boyfriend an airplane ticket with Doris's credit card.
Seriously?
Anything for my future husband.
Jennifer's self-esteem was tied to having things that she could buy and a man in her bed.
Everything is going according to plan, except for one thing. After 4 days, nature is taking too long.
So she got a black garbage plastic bag and simply put it over her head. The person just breathes and rebreathes the air. Eventually, the oxygen is all gone, the heart goes into an arrhythmia, and the person dies.
Let me in.
No! Go play up in the house!
But by this time, Doris's family are concerned. They haven't heard from her and can't understand why she would travel to Chicago.
Why would she go to Chicago? There's no one that lives in Chicago. There's no friends, no family. There's no reason for her to go to Chicago.
On January 22nd, 2015, they ask the police to check on her welfare.
A very observant cop noticed some things just weren't right.
He's walking around. He's seeing a lot of receipts. He's seeing an Xbox. He's seeing a TV.
What is it that you do for a living, ma'am?
A full-time mom.
And what's out here?
It's the laundry shed. She doesn't let anyone go in there.
I'll need to have a look.
Well, that sent up a pretty large red flag for the deputies. Curious to know why that particular area was sealed off.
He looks through the window, and then he sees a silhouette of a body.
Jennifer denies all knowledge of her benefactor's death. But when police dust the plastic bag, they find her fingerprints. Undeniable evidence. But still, she pleads not guilty.
To this day, she has not confessed.
I don't think she ever felt any guilt.
In 2017, Jennifer Rose Trent is convicted of first-degree murder, organized fraud, and using the identity of a deceased person. Her sentence, life in prison, no chance of parole. An elderly woman's kindness is repaid with heartless, cruel murder.
Doris's death was not totally in vain. Because of it, Jennifer Trent will be away from the rest of us forever. Just like lions on the Serengeti, human predators look for the weak and the infirm. Thrill killing, pure and simple.
It's not your usual social club. But for 43-year-old divorcee Trudy Lennon in Perth, Australia, her new friends give her something she never knew she wanted.
She discovered that she enjoyed or she took sexual pleasure out of becoming a submissive or somebody submissive.
Trudy was into being dominated sexually and emotionally.
In the S&M world, a submissive needs a dominant partner.
My turn.
Like 24-year-old Gemma Lilly.
Gemma was quite a narcissistic person, and she took pleasure in being able to control those around her.
I'm SOS.
I'm Corvina.
So when she met Trudy, it was like a perfect storm.
Boy, this just makes Trudy feel like I'm home. I'm comfortable. I'll do whatever she wants me to do.
Despite their age difference, Trudy becomes obsessed with her younger friend.
Why SOS?
Who in turn is obsessed with a serial killer.
Gemma's obsession with Son of Sam, SOS, was so intense, one would think it was the only thing she could think about.
Gemma wrote a book, SOS. He was the main character, and basically the plot line involved him murdering for pleasure.
I cannot rest until the blood of a screaming, pleading victim is gushing out and pooling on the floor.
And being so charming that he could convince other people to also murder for pleasure, and he called those people his maggots.
You can have that.
Trudy isn't appalled. She is fascinated.
They became really fast friends really quickly.
Within weeks of meeting, Gemma moves in with Trudy and her 2 young sons.
Move your arm closer.
The 2 women grow closer to each other and closer to the memory of Son of Sam.
SOS was brilliant.
The 2 of them together fed each other's notions and reinforced. You like what I like, then it must be okay.
As the dominant one, Gemma is leading her friend deeper into darkness.
Keep reading.
It feeds her. It feeds that beast that's growing inside her.
Gemma became enthralled with methods of torture and wrote them down in alphabetical order.
Castration, flagellation, force feeding. I mean, this is going really down a dark, dark road.
Trudy!
Gemma began to embody
Get in here!
the character that she had created that was SOS.
On your knees.
She was becoming him, and he was becoming her.
Imagine feeling a knife thrusting into someone's flesh.
Gemma becomes ready to move from her imagination to reality.
Not yours, but somebody's.
It quickly became apparent to both of them that Gemma had found her maggot, and Trudy was quite happy to be it.
I'll help you. Do whatever you want.
Just like lions on the Serengeti, human predators look for the weak and the infirm.
Trudy! Trudy!
Hey, Aaron!
Hi.
Trudy wants to please her master by delivering her a victim.
He was very sweet and vulnerable. He had Asperger's syndrome.
He was very, very trusting, and he'd known Trudy for 9 years. He didn't stand a chance.
Perth, Australia. Trudy Lennon is looking for prey for her master.
How's the studies?
Yeah, great. I love computers.
when 18-year-old computer student Erin Patchich crosses her path.
Trudy knew Aaron through her son. The two were friends and they shared a love of gaming together.
Hey, you should come over and see the boys.
Oh, great. Oh, I could bring my computer games.
Trudy was someone that Aaron trusted.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a sec.
Okay.
Waiting in the wings is dominatrix Gemma Lilly.
Gemma decided she wanted to kill someone to see what it felt like.
One sec,
all right.
yeah.
Okay.
Trudy was the one that brought it up first. Let's go. I'm ready. You're ready. Let's do it.
On June 13th, 2016, one phone call is all it takes.
The day comes along. Trudy drops her kids off at school. She goes to a shopping center, calls Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Yeah, it's Trudy.
It says, "Can you meet me here? I'll give you a ride to the house. I need some help with my computer."
That's good. There you go, though. All right, bye.
Aaron's friend drops him off at the pickup point. He will never see him again.
Aaron saw no danger. For him, Trudy and Gemma was kind of like a second family, just people on the block to spend time with.
Hey, Trudy. Hey, Aaron. Jump in, mate.
Hey.
Hey.
He has no idea what's in store.
In a quiet Perth neighborhood, son of Sam will make a comeback.
Where are they?
In here.
So when Aaron arrives at the house, he still thinks there's nothing amiss. Gemma had a computer set up. Aaron sat down on the chair in front of that computer.
Gemma comes up behind him and takes a wire. Starts strangling it around his neck.
As Aaron fights for his life, the women wrestle him to the floor.
Gemma was young and strong and motivated. Aaron didn't stand a chance.
Stabbed multiple times, once in the chest, once in the neck. He died nearly instantly from his wounds. 2 of them were fatal.
A young, innocent man trusted the wrong person.
It wasn't for revenge. It wasn't out of hatred or spite. It was purely for a thrill kill. After they killed Aaron, they wrapped his head in a cling wrap and they wrapped his body in a tarpaulin. It's believed that they kept him somewhere hidden in the house for a few days.
Their plan works perfectly, and the thrill seems to linger.
I think that both women felt a sense of euphoria after they had killed Aaron. There was no remorse or regret.
Gemma not only enjoyed what she did in the moment, she was high on it for days.
Confident, they move Aaron's body from the house and bury him in the back garden.
Gemma and Trudy were so arrogant in terms of getting away with this crime. They actually buried him in the backyard.
I don't think that they thought they would ever be caught.
So anyway, the wire broke.
But then, Gemma makes a fatal mistake.
So I had to get Trudy to hold him down.
Gemma just can't control herself. She goes to work, And she starts talking about how she killed somebody, how much of a thrill it was. Not only that, but how the wire broke and that she ultimately had to stab him.
And then there was blood everywhere. And the light left his eyes.
The colleague goes straight to the police. Although he doesn't know the victim, Aaron has already been reported missing. And his friend tells police where he was last seen.
Do you remember exactly where you dropped him off?
Around there.
They looked into Aaron's last known whereabouts, and his last phone call was to Trudy.
And what time was that?
Around 10.
And his last known whereabouts was where he met Trudy and Gemma.
A visit to Trudy's house reveals a fresh pile of dirt.
That would be the first place police would look. Trudy and Gemma made life easy for the cops.
Caught red-handed, the duo tries to blame each other.
There's no more dominatrix and submissive here. They're both trying to save their own butts.
Trudy pointed the finger at Gemma and vice versa, but ultimately the judge ruled that without each other, they couldn't have done it, they wouldn't have done it, and so they were both equally culpable.
Trudy Lennon is found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 28 years.
Trudy said she went along because she was fearful. That might be true. Gemma was a scary person, but it doesn't let her off the hook. Trudy had free will. She could have stopped it.
Gemma Lilly is also convicted of murder and sentenced to life with a minimum of 28 years.
I think Gemma had a dream to become a serial killer one day, to become the people that she had idolized growing up.
Divorcee Trudy thought she'd found what was missing in her life. But S&M proved a gateway to a much darker world. To the world of a psychopath in the guise of Gemma Lilly. Her obsession with Son of Sam set her up for murder. All Gemma needed was a willing accomplice.
Gemma is the more dangerous of these two. Psychopathy and a desire to murder don't go away, can't be cured. There's no pill for that. Gemma should never be released from prison. Greed is called a deadly sin for a reason. Once the seed starts germinating, it can completely take over someone's motivation. And it is one of the top 3 motivators of murder.
Florida, 2011.
That's Daisy and that's Suzu.
They're beautiful.
A friendship flourishes in a time of need.
So, would anyone like to share first today?
39-year-old Jacqueline Luongo and 65-year-old British expat Patricia Vivieros bond at their AA meeting.
She was always very faithful about attending her Alcoholics Anonymous meetings.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline, and I'm an alcoholic.
She was trying to better herself.
And one day at a time. Hey.
Jacqueline has 2 degrees, but hasn't found financial stability. She seems to have her drinking under control, but not her career. She's tried hospitality, personal training, and now a desk job.
I'll need these as soon as I get back from lunch.
But nothing sticks.
Jacqueline had a good education, but was unable to hold a job. That tells me there was probably a behavioral or mental problem going on. Her intellect was fine.
She kept wanting to change what she wanted to do, which caused her to have financial problems.
Now Jacqueline has a new friend and a sympathetic ear.
Hey there, how's the job going?
I'm thinking of killing my boss.
You should quit, life's too short. Don't worry about the money. We'll sort something out.
Really?
Patricia has troubles of her own. Due to her drinking, she has an outstanding warrant for a DUI. She dare not drive without risking arrest.
These were two folks who essentially needed each other.
In June 2014, Jacqueline moves into Patricia's apartment in Deerfield Beach, Florida.
I am gonna pay you rent, by the way.
No, that's not the deal.
Patricia let her stay for free, rent-free in her home, and all she had to do was drive her here and there.
You'll earn your keep just chauffeuring me around.
Recently retired, Patricia is only too happy to have the company of a good friend.
Okay, okay.
Weeks after Jacqueline moves in, Patricia has a short stay in the hospital. Jacqueline takes over running the household.
We miss you too, especially China.
Look, I was wondering, is there any mail for me?
No, nothing here. Just a few bills, junk mail. Oh, wait. Here's something.
She discovers Patricia is wealthier than she thought.
She had an insurance policy and was able to collect on this insurance policy.
Oh, it's nothing.
Okay.
Her $50,000 policy allows her to draw monthly checks of $5,000.
Jacqueline saw that here's a $4,000 or $5,000 check coming in, and that's where it all began.
It wasn't a lot of money, but it was a whole lot more than having nothing. And Jacqueline had nothing.
While the cat's away, the mouse goes shopping. Jacqueline starts cashing her benefactor's checks.
You're targeting somebody who's doing you a favor. This woman is letting you live in her home rent-free. What other money do you need from her?
Don't touch me.
But Patricia starts missing her checks. The bank sets her straight. She's already cashed them.
What's the matter with you?
She was going to get thrown out because she had been caught stealing.
Jacqueline knows this day would come, so she implements her plan A.
Yes, the police?
Have Patricia arrested on the DUI warrant.
Please hurry.
She knew there was an outstanding warrant for her.
Jacqueline, why are you doing this? You're going to jail.
She thought if Patricia was incarcerated, she could access her finances easier.
It was no longer her friend. This was $50,000. It wasn't a human being anymore.
Florida, August 28th, 2014. Jacqueline Luongo has just had her benefactor arrested and now plans to cash in. But Patricia Viveros isn't under lock and key after all. She's only been held overnight and wants answers.
I spent the night in jail because of you.
Jacqueline isn't in the mood. She goes straight to Plan B.
Get out of my house. Let go!
Jacqueline planned it out. She bought handcuffs.
Please, please.
She bought the duct tape.
She encased her head completely in white duct tape from the chin all the way up to the head. Picture, if you could, being alive while that process is going on. It's pretty gruesome to think about.
It was an immense amount of cruelty.
Patricia is suffocated.
And to make matters worse, it wasn't a stranger killing her, it was someone she had been good to.
This is how you kill somebody when you want them to suffer. And Patricia Viveros did nothing that made her deserve to have to suffer this way. She hides the body in a closet in Patricia's home.
Jacqueline resumes raiding Patricia's accounts.
I'd like to cash a check, please.
She went out of her way to buy a blonde wig so she could impersonate the victim. She had all of the victim's ID.
She would dress in a way that made her look like Patricia so she could go to the bank and cash Patricia's checks.
Jacqueline got away with impersonating Patricia for a while.
There you are.
She was able to extract several $1,000s through several checks.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
That'll be all. Thank you.
With her victim's body deteriorating at home, Jacqueline starts using motel rooms and invites her girlfriend, Maria Calderon.
How are you paying for all this?
She was suspicious because Jacqueline all of a sudden had money, large amounts of it, to check into these motels.
She couldn't afford to stay where she was staying. Where was she getting money?
Pat's dead.
What?
She's dead. A hitman. He killed her. He forced me to help.
She said that the victim was involved in a dirty doctor ring and that some Colombian hitman had come by the apartment and killed her.
I had no choice.
And forced Jacqueline Luanga to participate.
She genuinely thinks she's gonna manage to get away with this, and she could tell somebody that she trusts.
Jacqueline misjudged her girlfriend.
At the first opportunity, Maria slips away.
She basically flags down this guy and tells him the story.
Police quickly discover Patricia's body and arrest Jacqueline for murder.
When somebody comes up to you and says, "Here's your killer," it makes a detective's job a little bit easier.
But Jacqueline has a plan C. In jail awaiting trial, she does what she does best, turns on those closest to her.
I need to take her out.
Don't look at me.
Her girlfriend will be the prosecution's star witness.
Jacqueline decides that she's gonna hire a hitman to murder Maria Calderon.
What about you?
I know someone. Won't be cheap, though.
Attempting a contract murder from jail is extremely risky and stupid.
Could set up a meeting.
So tell me about this guy.
She thought she could get away with anything.
For a second time, Jacqueline Luongo plots murder. This time, she won't be getting her own hands dirty.
Is it done?
That's where we actually learned what kind of person she really was.
But the contract killing is not what it seems. Maria is alive and well. It's all a police sting.
They take Maria out into the Everglades. They fake her death. She is lying down. She's made up to look as if she's been murdered.
We had to bring back pictures to Jacqueline Luongo to prove to her that Maria Calderon had been murdered.
A cellmate tip-off ensures the police get their woman.
She did believe that Maria was dead. She was thrilled about this.
In 2017, Jacqueline Luongo is convicted of first-degree murder and solicitation to commit murder. She is sentenced to life in prison without parole.
To just see money and say, I'm willing to kill for that. It's just something that decent people can't wrap their heads around.
Jacqueline Luongo puts herself before everyone else, even those who help her, even those who love her. For a woman who can't hold down a job, money is all that matters.
Jacqueline never showed any remorse or regret for the murder or the attempted murder. But then again, I wouldn't expect that from a psychopath.
These deadly women smiled sweetly, then struck. Jennifer Trent leeched, then killed a kind soul. Gemma Lilly and Trudy Lennon lived out their sick fantasies. And Jacqueline Luongo wanted money more than a good pal. To all three, friends are foes.